Check out the smiling dials on these two blokes, will you? The government's just slung them a cool $1 billion for a quantum computing venture. I don't know about you, but we'd be smiling just like Jeremy and Terry if the government had given us $1 billion also of our own money. But this is precisely what the government should not be doing. It should not be picking winners with our cash. This is a shocker. And here we were a couple of weeks ago defending the Future Made in Australia Act from Albo, effectively a big subsidy to transition to the new economy, against all the coalition media whales of governments picking winners and subsidies and so on from the fossil media. Here we were, backing Albo and Jim. The answer is clear as day for Jimbo and Albo. Politicians are easy targets. They are not professional investors, but there are others who are, such as the CEFC, the Clean Energy Finance Corp, and the Future Fund, both very successful government investors, both independent, and that is the key, not picking winners. There's a massive pile of money called the Future Fund, some $240 billion just sitting there accumulating returns at about 8% a year. Not too shabby. There's already a $20 billion medical research fund within the Future Fund, as well as the HAF, which is going to be managed by the Future Fund as well, the Housing Initiative. There are 4 funds within the Future Fund, in fact. So the answer is, rather than picking winners, come on, what do these politicians know about quantum computing anyway? Probably as much as I do. The politicians need to give the mandate for the energy transition or for the next-gen investments, manufacturing revolution, the value add in Australia, to the Future Fund. It is sitting there. It is independent. Let the pros manage the money. They invest in whatever investment is provided for under their mandate. They then crowd in private capital, the super funds and others to make it work. All the government has to do, all the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, has to do, he has the power to do this, is to carve out, say, $20 billion or $50 billion for the Future Made in Australia Act. He does not control where the investments go. It is not political. He is not picking winners. He would be delivering an independent mandate to professional investors with a track record. The Future Fund has done well over the years to grow to $240 billion in funds under management from nothing. It's a good return at 8%. And yet the debate over what the Future Fund is or should be or be doing has been hijacked, none other than the chairman, Peter Costello, who is also the chairman of Nine Entertainment, which owns the Fin Review. And the Fin Review has been running these stories about keep your hands off the Future Fund, just leave it alone. Let it continue to grow for growth's sake. Make it a bigger mountain of money with no direction. You see, the original purpose of this Future Fund was to pay the retirement benefits for public servants. It's never paid out one pension. Instead, it's just grown for the sake of growth. And yes, the return matches off in the budget. So the fact that they're not paying dividends does not really matter for Jim Chalmers. But this is what Peter Costello proposes, just more growth for the sake of growth, paying out $400 million in fees a year to other fund managers, while morphing quietly in its public pronouncements from a pension fund, which is its mandate, to a sovereign wealth fund. That's now what we hear, but there was never any announcement. They never announced it. But in any case, the structure is there right now to independently manage money for Australia's future. And then you've got the $3.4 trillion of super funds which have a whole sole purpose test to maximise risk-adjusted returns for investors. The capital is there, the structure is in place. All it needs is the mandate from Lucky Jim Chalmers. And Jim will get inevitably collared by the coalition media for picking winners, but he can say this is an independent process and it is a no-brainer. It is a process with integrity and it can drive the Australian economy through the energy transition and the next minerals. Other funds such as Singapore's Temasek and China with its state capital and its private corporations, the co-pros going on there, 4 times the wind and solar of the US will have by the end of this year. It works in other countries. It makes sense. It's not picking winners. It's independent. Let's do it.